What up? It's your boy T-Bird in the reaction. Today is Music Monday, so I was hoping I had room for him to do one more video, but enough got added in here, so I'll try to get this new series that BBD.com got going on in place at this comes at the Soul Train, but whatever. I'm gonna do it. I can come back to this anytime. I'm gonna do it though. So BBD.com got a new series. After they did I was a 90s Soul Train dance, I was a Soul Train dancer or anything. The videos I already got to know that was including known dancers that's a Soul Train, as well as celebrities who got a start as a Soul Train dancer, or as well too during their uprising though. So this one, they got a new series called I Was a 90s Dancer though. And kick things off, this is a longer one with the original BBD dancers, talk about dancing and golden era hip hop. Because further on, they have known people that was dancing in the 90s, such as a well-known flagger and a member of MC Hammer's entourage as well too. So we want to check out the original BBD dancers, talk about dancing in the golden era hip hop. I was a night dancer. I'm probably gonna pause between the last part because Raw can come on soon. So anyway, without further ado, let's check it out.
Being a dancer in the 90s, it was literally the most phenomenal era.
Yeah.
So much great music, just the feel of the club and everybody dancing and getting busy.
90s was the golden era of hip hop.
I had a fantastic time.
So many dope dancers that came out of that era that were known and were noticed for their style, for the artists that they dance with.
It was just 100% amazing.
It's one of the most exciting times in my life, and to just be on that side of history and a part of that history is just incredible. My name is Deborah Moten.
My name is Nikita Leone.
My name is Tawilla Lynn.
My name is Marzella Pluke-Lewis,
And I'm
An original
BBD dancer.
Marcel looks familiar a little bit, like I've seen other stuff afterwards.
I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California.
I was born in San Francisco, but at the age of 6, my family moved down to LA. So I was raised in the San Fernando Valley.
I was born in Detroit, Michigan, but moved to California in 1980 when I was 8 years old.
I was born and raised in Inglewood, California.
I was that kid that my family always wanted to do the latest dance. I remember as early as 3 or 4 years old being put in the center at a family reunion. They were like, Debbie, dance, do this dance, and I could always do it.
When I was a small kid at 2 years old, my mother told me that I was a natural dancer.
I started dancing at a very young age. There was always oldies being played in the household, and I was watching the elders dance and groove, and so I was picking all that up and absorbing it for myself, and I started dancing.
I'm literally a self-taught street dancer. I never took a dance class, never trained. It was just natural ability to me. I was a cheerleader, and I was in dance groups pretty much since I was about 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
And dancing at school. I went to Westchester High School. I am a comic. West Side.
I attended Westchester High School. I wasn't a cheerleader, but I was on the drill team. In 10th grade, I became second lieutenant, and then 11th and 12th grade, I became the captain and co-captain, and we competed all over the world.
Wow.
I went to Chatsworth High School.
I went to Taft High School. That's where Ice Cube went.
Wow.
My sister was on drill team at Taft High School, and she said, you're coming into 9th grade. I need to teach you how to do some moves so you can make the drill team.
Nice.
So she just worked with me. We rehearsed, she showed me all the moves, and that's kind of what started me off on my dance career, because I kind of had 2 left feet, believe it or not.
Starting like in the late 80s, they used to have these dances at the Veterans Auditorium. It was really cool to have something for teens. They used to have this club called Ultra Wave, and it was a teen club. It started to be all these dance groups, and they made their own dance group called the Ultra Girls. So I was an Ultra Girl, and we used to do contests, and we used to be against the Dappers, which ended up being the Good Girls.
Wow.
I actually was not personally on that scene because I lived in the San Fernando Valley.
I lived in the valley. There wasn't a lot of mix of people. It's primarily white people lived in the valley. So I rarely went to the city, but my sister used to go all the time. And then one time she took me to an Ultra Wave party. It was amazing. I just loved it. That kind of sparked my really love of dance and wanting to be in that scene.
Ultra Wave dance style was more what we would call the trendy dance style. It was very fast and hard-hitting dance moves.
After high school, there was also a teen club because, once again, we still weren't 21, and they started Paradise 24.
The top three were Hollywood Live, Paradise, and LA Live. Those were the main hip-hop clubs.
I wasn't 18, I was 16. So I had a hard time getting in a lot, just having different people's ID, and the guy at the door just never put up with my stuff, and I got sent home quite a few times.
I had just turned 18. So I actually snuck because you had to be 21 to go in the total experience. So I used one of my cousin's ID to get in there.
At that time, we went to the club to see the guys get into these circles, these cipher circles, and battle each other. And the women, we weren't prominent.
It was definitely a male-dominated type of thing at that time. And as a young black girl, you had to get out there and prove yourself. It took a lot of practicing at home and getting your moves straight and strong. So by the time you hit the club scene and you got on the floor, then you just showed your stuff and got your respect like that.
In that era, you could see a lot of talent, a lot of females going out there and getting busy on the dance floor, and they start their own ciphers and they battle guys, and it was amazing. It was a really great time to see, and I appreciated the fact that there were so many great dancers in that LA scene at that time, female dancers on top of it.
I met Pluke in elementary school. Then we ended up at the same junior high school.
And we carried over to Westchester High School. I reacquainted myself with Deborah because we were not close friends at school, but we knew of each other, of course. After high school, I ran into her, and she said, "Marcella, is that you?" From that point on, then she asked me to dance with her with some local rappers at the time. So then she and I came together.
I knew of them. I had seen them around at Paradise 24, Hollywood Live.
I used to see T at Hollywood Live all the time.
How we met was
at Paradise 24. They would have these random dance contests.
One night, Rosie Perez come to the club, and she's like, "I'm looking for dancers for LL Cool J." She wanted girls, so she had girls getting on stage battling. I was nervous, shaking in my boots.
My cousin actually pushed Deborah up on the stage. Deborah was so nervous she wouldn't move. So my cousin said, "Get up there," because they said, "Okay, next."
Nikita and her sister, they got up there and they did it.
T and her best friend at the time, Darian, got on stage and they had this, baggy clothes, long shirts. They got down, they got busy.
We did our dance move and we did my little drill team stunts and things from, high school, and we did the flip.
I spin around, she catches my hand and she flips me. And the crowd went crazy, but one thing that happened, I had on a bandeau top and everything just fell out. She flipped me.
We thought we did good. I thought okay, we're gonna win, but it was a crowd-based participation and they cheered for Deborah and Fluke. I say it's because her boob fell out.
One of the promoters from the club chose Fluke and I, Nikita, T, and another young lady to represent the West Coast.
To battle the East Coast female dancers.
So that's how we met.
For some reason, the East Coast, West Coast battle, it didn't happen. So we decided to do the prelims.
we already been rehearsing, right? We already have routines, we could win.
We decided to do Go to Work by Kumo D, and we were like, we need a concept, because I had heard that from the Good Girls manager. So we decided that we were gonna be construction workers. So I went and got construction outfits and tool belts and hard hats. So we're on the way to the contest and we don't have a name. What are we gonna call ourselves?
So we were brainstorming on the way to the club. what was our name going to be, but we wanted it to match our concept as well. So we were looking at signs, street signs, one way, stop, move ahead, whatever, yield. And then we came across this sign called Straight Ahead. And we was like, that's it.
Oh, how are we gonna spell it? And then it was STR-8 ahead.
So we performed that night as Straight Ahead.
Crowd loved us. We took out the Love Posse, who was the favorite to win that night. Then we move on to the finals. And the finals were the following week.
Wow.
Once we got to the finals, it was like all these groups.
We had to pick a number out of the hat, and that number would tell you in which order you would perform. And I'll never forget, Deborah picked the number, and she picked number 2. We were very confident going into the competition. We just knew we were going to win, but we were sitting there just mad, all of us, because we had to go on second. This time we were in white jumpsuits. Nikita's mom, she fixed them with Velcro so that we could just rip them off, and underneath we had these sexy, colorful outfits.
We competed against a guy group called GTI. Actually, they're a rap group now called The Far Side.
Wow.
Us in our routine where we were gonna rip our clothes off.
So they pulled down their pants and
We had on some hard boxers, so the girls went crazy.
Women scream way louder than men do at a nightclub, so it was based on crowd participation.
So we lost. So we was a little bummed, but you know.
And the judges was Rosie Perez, Michael Bivins, and was it LL Cool J? I think it was.
After we lost the contest, we ended up hooking up again with Rosie Perez. She wanted to use us for a celebrity basketball game. Ron, Ricky, and Mike were actually playing in this celebrity basketball game. And that's when we came in contact in person. Ricky called me up and he was like, we're starting a new group. We're gonna be a group called Belle Biv DeVoe. And let me play the song for you. Tell me if you guys could dance to this. So he puts on Poison.
There we go.
And he's like, you think y'all could dance to this? And I'm like, we can dance to anything.
And so Ron told Deborah to meet up with his uncle B, that's Brooke Payne, at the studio and show him what you got.
So we get to the studio, all 4 of us.
I had never actually seen a picture of him. I had just heard so much about him, and then when I saw him, it was just like, wow. Like, you know, this is the Brooke Payne, New Edition's choreographer.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
He wasn't super friendly. He's about business. We went in, I was quiet. I was like, okay, I'm coming to do what I came to do, and hopefully he'll like it.
He's like, okay, let me see what you got. And we had a routine to Heavy D's flexing. We do the routine.
We going hard, and you could tell that he liked what he saw, but he's Brooke Payne, like he ain't gonna be jocking nobody, right? So
we get to the end of the song.
He's like, do it again. And we were looking at each other like, we just put everything into that one. Like, how are we gonna do it again?
Do it.
We was just all sloppy and just like trying to make it through it. And he goes,
y'all need to work on y'all stamina.
You would have thought that he didn't like us.
Man, if y'all saw the New Edition story, you know why he how he is about stamina. How he did them boys, had them boys putting in work, like putting in work and stamina as well too.
He's like, and that's the routine to Poison. And we're like, that's the routine. He's like, yeah, that works. The only thing that Brooke did change,
which actually was a significant piece, is when they say poison and it's real slow. And we were kind of rocking back and forth in a fast movement, and he just said, no, just slow it down. He was a visionary, so visually he could see how that was gonna be the move that everybody would know, everybody would do.
That's the genius of Brooke. He never made up our steps. We did our own steps, but he always was able to come in and just make it that much better.
Oh, man. Brooke was so tough in rehearsals. It was hard. It was physically hard.
Now, you have to understand, Poison is at level 20 the whole time you're dancing. And it was about 4 minutes, 30 seconds long. Now, if you know in dancing, that's a long time to be dancing hard.
What he would do was he would play Poison on a cassette tape, okay? 60 minutes, both sides, back to back. And he would just walk into rehearsal with this damn cassette tape and put it in.
Poison. Poison on repeat. Sound like Brooke. If you saw, like I said, you saw that movie, sound like Brooke right there. Oh my God.
And we'd have to do the routine full out, back to back to back to back.
And before you could do the last Poison sway, it would be like cat, 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 cat.
He wanted us to be perfection, and it showed on stage when we rehearsed that hard. And for months before the song even came out, we were rehearsing.
One thing probably missing him is him having doing push-ups and running laps.
Deborah and Fluke were the style gurus of the group, I have to say that.
Deborah and I used to shop together all the time. It was natural because this is what we did during club days, so it just carried over into BBD.
So basically, whatever we would wear in the club is what we decided we were going to wear on stage. It was not like R&B where some of the dancers, they matched the artists and they all had on the glittery stuff and all that. That wasn't us. We were like total 100% streetwear, and everything had to be baggy. But then we also wanted to have sex appeal. So when we did have on a baggy bottom, we would wear a sports bra, or we would do a jersey with a sports bra and a baggy bottom and some hiking boots. And it always had to be tomboyish with a little bit of sexy to it. We were our own influence because we're regular LA girls. We grew up in LA, so we were just doing our fashion. We weren't looking at anybody else, and it influenced BBD because they used to want everything that we had. They wanted hiking boots, so I went to the swap meet and got them hiking boots, and it became their symbol for the first tour.
Mismatch boots from the girls,
One of the main things that we did that nobody else did was the ponytail. And that ponytail came from Fluke.
My goal in it was the uniformity because I did hair and drill team, so my idea of us was uniformity and to look alike. And so that's where the ponytail was created because that's what I wore in high school. That's what we wore to compete, ponytail and bow, cute little girls.
And that started the whole ponytail era, and that was just like our signature look.
A great welcome, please, ladies and gentlemen, for Belle Biv DeVoe.
Soul Train was the first show we performed with Belle Biv DeVoe, and we watched it every week religiously at my house. And I loved how they had so many different characters and they had their own style, and it was fun. We felt real fancy going to Soul Train and getting our makeup done, and we felt beautiful. We were like, wow, like this is big time. We looked really cute in our outfits, and we felt good on stage, and it was a tiny stage, but we were like, this is it, we gotta bust it. This is Soul Train, like this is the best of the best, the cream of the crop of LA here, you know, watching us.
That was like an out-of-body experience. To be actually on the set, being in the presence of Don Cornelius, you know, I thought I had entered into another world.
Don Cornelius, he was super cool. If you see the footage from it, like, he asked us our name, and we were like giving our real names instead of our nicknames.
Deborah.
Hey, Deborah.
Nikita. Tawilla.
DJ Spinbag.
DJ, spin back. Hold on.
Marzella.
Yeah, Marzella.
I remember T saying Tawilla, and then I remember myself going, Marzella.
We're like, we don't even call each other that. It was surreal, like looking at all the dancers that you've seen like on TV. You grew up watching them, and now they're actually watching you on stage. So it was super cool.
BBD, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Freeze in full effect.
It was new for BBD. It was a new image for them. It was a new start for them.
They started this whole mental gear thing. We're not supposed to keep the tags on our clothes. Well, we're gonna keep the tags on our clothes. Oh, we're not supposed to wear a sneaker and a boot. We have to wear two boots. They have to match. No, we're not doing that, right? They came out and they broke all the rules.
I don't think any of us knew that Poison was gonna do what it did and catapult us, even the dancers. Like, I think, you know, when you're doing something that you love and you're just doing it, you're kind of literally oblivious to what's going on.
I thought we were gonna do like maybe a show or two. You know, I was gonna make me a little pocket change, buy me some new Doc Martens or something, and then keep it moving. I did not foresee how big this was gonna become.
Spider-Man and Freeze put together something that was never really heard before. It was just high energy, and it was a complete opposite of what New Edition was. So you were excited to see these three guys from New Edition that used to wear suits, like getting grimy in their outfits and their style and having these female dancers.
That routine pretty much took that song to the next level. Like, yes, it was a good song, but it was the energy that we put forth when we were dancing. It was the precision. We prided ourselves on not only having the energy, but being super clean, looking like one person.
The energy level that we had as a group, the Magnificent Seven, I call us, was off the charts, you know?
And then the song just starts blowing up. And I realized that it was something more to this than just we're dancing for an artist and all that. Was when I was in Oakland. in Jack in a Box. And someone came up to me and asked me, was I one of those girls with the ponytail that danced for BBD? And they were like, oh my God, can I have your autograph?
We had people come into our hotels, we would sign autographs, and it was kind of surreal and amazing.
After the second BBD album, there was really not that much going on, you know, with Belle Biv DeVoe. So everyone just kind of went, you know, and just kind of did our own things for a while.
Straight Ahead was not only a dance group, but we also became like a rap group.
Oh, wow.
We were signed to Ron and Ricky, and they had a production deal. We were signed to them, so we were gonna be our own group. We don't need to dance for them anymore. So as a going away present, we did the Gangster video.
Gangster was the last video that we did with Belle Biv DeVoe. That was the first single off of their second album, Hootie Mac. It did feel like the end of the journey for the Straight Ahead Belle Biv DeVoe. I didn't feel that we looked our best or had our best choreography. It didn't have that same feel. And so it did feel like sort of the end of sorts.
And we actually went into the studio and recorded a couple songs. One was called Club Mental. We had a whole vision. We had like a slew of dancers and it was gonna be this really hype club song, you know, that was gonna be like our first single, Club Mental.
Well, lo and behold, situations got dropped. We was a little salty about it.
Aww.
And we just was like, we're not dancing.
Wow.
We had kind of really stopped dancing and started living our lives.
I'm back. I gotta see what's going on with Raw real quick, but let's keep going.
We was a little salty about it, and we just was like, we're not dancing. We had kind of really stopped dancing and started living our lives.
Yeah, I went back to school.
We heard about New Edition reunion.
Anytime we hear the word reunion, we ready to go back on stage with Belle Biv DeVoe. So we started rehearsing quietly on our own, getting our stamina back up because some of us hadn't done a lot and we just really needed to get back in shape. And we said we're gonna come and we're gonna come strong and we're gonna invite them to the studio and show them what we got.
We went into rehearsal literally like we were doing a tour. We re-choreographed Poison and we just rehearsed until we were like bomb, back at the same level we were. And then we gave Brooke a call. Hey Brooke, we hear that New Edition is about to do a reunion tour and we want to dance. We invited them to a studio. We performed Poison and they were freaking blown away that we were literally better than we were before. And they was like, well, okay then, I guess you guys will be back together. After doing the Home Again tour, our stakes were back up. We were back hot again. And so we decided we were finally gonna dance for other people because you gotta realize during the time that we were dancing for BBD, people would ask us to dance for them and BBD was like, no way, nobody's getting our dancers. They don't want our style going to other people. They wanted us exclusively. So after that tour, we free and open, and that's when I also realized that I was a choreographer. So I kind of started at the bottom. I worked with Dave Myers, Michael Martin. When I did some of their first videos.
Deborah was the choreographer, so she made sure we were constantly working.
Oh,
Dr. Dre's been there, done that. I did a lot of Master P and his No Limit Records artist videos. We toured with SWV, T. Deborah and I.
And then went on to dance for Puffy on the No Way Out tour.
It was a change of atmosphere. It was a change of energy. It was just different. When we were with Belle Biv DeVoe, we were like their baby sisters, so to speak, right? They took care of us. Like we were spoiled almost. Like we pretty much could get almost anything we wanted. When we went out on Bad Boy, you're one of the many. You're just one of the dancers. It was just a little different dynamic between Belle Biv DeVoe and the No Way Out tour.
I was a heavier dancer and, you know, I missed out on a tour because of my weight. The worst pain of my dance career was getting passed up for P. Diddy's tour. Luke was injured at the time, so she wasn't dancing anymore. But Deborah and T got picked to go on tour with him and I didn't get picked. I was devastated. That hit hard because of my weight, you know, not because of my talent, because I was definitely talented. I felt like I could outdance anybody. So it was disappointing, but that's when I kind of expanded my dance family and reached out to some other dancers locally that were still in LA, and I was able to do Will Smith's video.
Nice.
After the last tour, which was Boyz II Men, I pretty much was done with the industry, done with dancing, getting older. I was about 29 at the time. And I enrolled in culinary school.
Nice.
And met my husband and became a chef. And that's what I do. Have 2 kids.
I had surgery on my knee for the second time, so I had an ACL blowout, which caused me to go back to finish cosmetology school. And I started what you call the glam squad. So I did hair, I did styling. And so I took the glam squad route for a while to give my knees a rest. And then I also did underground poetry. I became a spoken word artist.
Nice.
What I do currently now is I am a financial broker. I am a homemaker as well.
I pretty much stayed in the business in some form of fashion. Right now, I work for the WNBA, the Los Angeles Sparks. I'm the senior entertainment manager.
Okay.
So I get to still choreograph. I work with 3 dance teams. I have a youth dance team that's a 7 to 14, a young adult that's 17 and up, and I actually have a 40 and over crew called the Old School Crew. So I'm still in charge of that. I book talent for the games and any, events, anything that has to do with entertainment. I handle it for the Sparks.
After touring and dancing, I taught hip-hop classes for a few years, and then I had my daughter. Then I went to work at corporate America as a program manager and have been raising my daughter and enjoying that journey of being her mother ever since.
Dancing with BBD. This is one of the most iconic things that happened in the 90s. If you ever say BBD and Poison and Girls with the Ponytails in the same sentence, people are gonna know exactly what you're talking about.
We would want our legacy to be that you can achieve anything you want. You could be a little girl and wish to be on Soul Train or wish to be on stage, and you can get there. Hard work, perseverance. We strived for perfection and being at the top of our game anytime that we were on stage, and that showed. So
They all still in great shape too. It was awesome.
I was at the park, shake big and taking them off.
Alright, this was a good series of Def. I definitely look forward to watching more though. Next week, we'll take a look at somebody who was one of the well-known floggers, not J-Lo, but she was the well-known flogger who also will get into acting later on down the line as well too. But she was best known for dancing a lot of nice videos, including Janet Jackson as well. But yeah, other than that, this was good. And then further down, they got somebody from the old group, Oak Town 357 as well too. But other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Shout out to BT for putting together another good series like I was a Soul Train dancer to now I was a nice dancer. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.